live? Not yet. There it is. Okay. Do a quick sound. Got sound. All right. Good. Go ahead and do a quick lean in with the camera there and make sure that just lean it. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That'll work. We can see what we're doing. As you can tell, I'm still getting over this, whatever it is. I'm tired of being sick. I've been sick more in the last 6 months than I have in the last 6 years. Every time I turn around, I've got something. And it's not COVID. Every time I get sick, I take a COVID test, and it ain't COVID. At least that's what the test says. All right. There's my wife. She's the only one watching. She's the only one who wants to see me. And even then, I wonder. So we'll give a minute or two for people to join in. Watch the festivities. Yeah, we got a few people popping in now. Hello, Angie. Hope everybody got their... yeah, let's not get carried away, right? Hope everybody got their giveaways and everything. I know we gave away some stuff a few weeks ago. It was a few weeks ago, right now? Yeah. So if you didn't get your stuff and you won something, let us know. We want to make sure everybody got what they won. I'm not sure if I'll be in Alabama at the end of March, and Andy will be in here. I know we're going to do a pre-recorded show from the range down there, but he was going to come in and introduce, so I don't know if he's going to do another giveaway that weekend or not, or that Tuesday or not. But welcome, everybody. T350 Show. And we are getting started on a small journey here. If you saw the pre-show, you heard me talk about how we're going to... Richard, you got yours? Good, good. How we need to develop how to build your AR library on our website. The marketing team wants to put together kind of a comprehensive video of all the steps that it takes to build an AR. So we're going to go ahead and do that over the next few weeks here on the show live, a little at a time. You know, we're going to take and do a few things this week, a few things next week, a few things the week after. In the fifth week, we're going to do a function test and all that good stuff and show you how to headspace an AR. And then in the final week, we're going to take it out to the range, excuse me, while we're down in Alabama and show you how to do a function test for live fire. And then we're going to live fire it and sight it in. So, excuse me. I got coffee here, so I have to keep drinking. Get over this someday. So, yeah, so we're going to take a look at what it takes to actually build an AR. We have here one of our rifle kits. Everything you need to build an AR is in here, except for the lower. So you need to provide your own lower when you buy one of our kits, just like so many kits out there. But we're going to go ahead and pop this thing open. And we're going to get out the pieces that we want to work with today. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to start working with the upper receiver because I don't have a lower receiver with me here today. My lower receivers are on order, and they're supposed to be delivered to the gun shop on Wednesday. So let's see what we've got here. We've got our upper receiver. We've got our bolt carrier group. We've got our upper parts kit. And we've got our charging handle. Those are the things we're going to work with here today. And then next week, we'll finish out the rest of the upper receiver. So let's take a look at what we got here. Forged mil-spec upper receiver. An upper parts kit that includes a forward assist and a dust cover. A 556 bolt carrier group. Ooh, that's a nice one. We got the enhanced ones this time. Yeah. That's a good one. And we got our charging handle. Those are the things we're going to work with starting today. So when you're ready to build your first AR or an AR, one of the things I recommend you do is define a few things. One, if you're not buying a kit, if you're buying parts individually, you're going to want a build sheet so that you make sure you don't miss nothing. You're going to want to define the purpose of your rifle. What is it you want to do with it? Is it going to be a range plinker? Is it going to be a range toy? Is it going to be a defense weapon? Is it going to be a duty weapon? Is it going to be a hunting rifle? You know, you want to define what that is, and that's going to dictate some other things. You know, the weight, the caliber, you know, the different things that, you know, might be dependent upon what it is you're going to do with that gun. And then you're going to want to set a budget. You know, what is it you want to spend? And you typically go over on the budget, so don't be alarmed. You know, set reasonable expectations and realize that you're probably going to go over a little bit because you always see something cool that you really want to add on. So, you know, this is going to be a 5.56 caliber, just a standard AR-15. But, you know, if you wanted a hunting rifle, maybe it's a 6.5 Grendel. Maybe it's a 350 Legend. Maybe, you know, it's a 300 Blackout. It might be one of those calibers. You know, this is going to be a standard AR-15 in 5.56, like I said. You know, good for a range toy, you know, range gun. Good for a home defense gun or, you know, a varmint rifle. Groundhogs, coyotes, pigs, that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and get started here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble our upper receiver. What we got to put on here is our forward assist. The forward assist is what you tap. It's spring loaded and it moves the bolt carrier group forward along these teeth. As the forward assist comes in, it hits these teeth, and if your gun doesn't go into battery fully, you can tap the forward assist and it slowly moves the bolt carrier group forward until the bolt carrier group locks in place. And then the dust cover obviously covers your ejection port and just keeps, you know, in a tactical situation or a combat situation, it keeps dirt, dust, grime, mud, all these different things from getting down inside your gun, which could cause your gun to jam up. So let's go ahead and pour out our parts here. Make sure we got everything. So for our forward assist, we have the roll pin, the forward assist itself, and the forward assist spring. We have the three components of the forward assist. For our dust cover, we have the dust cover pin, we have the dust cover spring, and then we have the little tiny C-clip. You can see it down there in the corner of the bag. That goes on the end of the pin. So let's start with our forward assist. This is a real Avid bench block. It's a real nice handy tool to have because it allows you to do things that you would necessarily need a third hand for. Okay, so you can see that this fits right in there. All right, and what it actually does is, in the proper configuration, you put this. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my grease pen and I'm going to put a little grease in here. I'm going to grease that up. And then I'm going to grease this whole thing up. Okay. Nice little grease pens from Otis. MC10 grease pen. You just push the button and you get grease out the little paintbrush, and you can just paint grease right on there. It's a real nice little unit. Okay. So now we put this back in there, and you can see on the tang here, when this is fully compressed, it holds it in place. So you don't need to try to hold, with this real Avid bench block, you don't need to try to hold this in, hold that, hold this, and then hold your pin and your hammer, right? You don't need three hands. This thing is all held together in place in the proper position. And then you will take, now I like to, you guys have seen me in the past, I like to crimp my pins just a little bit. It helps me get them started. And I'm just closing up the leading edge a little bit to make the diameter a little smaller. So it makes it easier to put it in. It guides itself into the hole a little easier. Okay. So we're going to put this in our roll pin starter. And then we're going to slowly tap that into place. Till it's just about seated. Then we're going to take our pin till the pin is flush, and then you can see we have good movement and it's trapped in place. Okay, so the forward assist is installed. Now we're going to go ahead and do our dust cover. So the first thing we want to do is take this little clip. And you want to be real careful with this thing because it's very, very tiny. It's very easy to lose. And we're going to grab a hold of it with our pliers. Like I said, very easy to lose. And we're going to install that. You'll see it might be a little hard to see, but there's a little notch cut around this pin. There's a little tiny groove cut around that pin. Okay? And that's this little tiny clip goes in that groove. Okay, and I usually get it started and then lay it down on the table and snap it in place, just like so. And you can see, if you want to zoom in there, Myra, you can now see that that's clip is now installed on the end of that pin. Yeah, it does help to have a white towel down so that if you drop little things, you can see them. Okay. Now, what we need to do is get this started. You're going to stick the pin through the hole in the upper receiver. You're going to get the dust cover door laid upside down. And you're going to feed it till you have it about right there. So that pin is just starting through the opening in the dust cover here. The pin is just starting to poke through. Okay? Then you're going to take your spring. Okay, you have a short leg and a long leg. I hold onto the long leg. I put the spring over top of the pin, and then I give the one complete revolution, and then I feed the pin in till it bottoms out, and there you have it. It's a little tricky at the first time or two that you do it, but once you've done it a couple times, it's real easy. That's why, like I said, grabbing that long leg, feeding it on, and then you can just give it one quick turn and feed the pin through, and it falls down onto the dust cover door, and your dust cover door is in place. They're a little tight sometimes when they're brand new. They take a little time to break themselves in, a couple open and close cycles, and then they're good to go. Okay, and that's the dust cover. Now I'm going to pull my charging handle out and get my grease pen out again. Put a little grease on the pertinent points. Okay. I'll put a little grease down in my channel. Okay. Now, I have had a couple of returns recently on guys have bought kits, and they've texted me back, and shame on me for not asking the simple basic question, but I tried to troubleshoot it for them. They said it's not cycling properly, it's not feeding, it's not doing this, it's not doing that, and I tried to work with them to figure out what was going on, and ultimately had to have them send the uppers back to me so I could troubleshoot them here in the shop. And when I got them back, they were bone dry. They had not oiled anything. And both guns, once I oiled them, ran perfectly fine. Had no issues whatsoever, feeding, firing, anything. So, a brand new AR needs some lubrication. Even they need lubrication, period. You're running metal on metal, right? You've got metal parts moving inside of metal parts. Just like your car engine needs oil, these things need oil. So, I highly recommend, especially brand new, running them really wet. Take this thing and practically dunk it in oil and then put it together. I don't have my oil here, do I? No, that's bore cleaner. My oil is out on the other bench. But we'll oil this up before we shoot it, obviously. But we'll do a quick little check here. We're going to make sure that everything's good to go here. The bolt carrier group stays up under its own weight. It collapses with a little bit of a push. The pin is in good. Everything looks good. Doesn't appear to be any issues. The ejector and extractor look good. You know, you would expect, because it's brand new, that everything would be good, but you never know. And then when I'm installing these, right, and you have to, right, you have to pull the pin. You want to pull the bolt face out all the way and get this, see the cam pin? You want the cam pin underneath the gas key so that it slides in the channel that it's supposed to slide in. If this is like this, it's not going to go in. Okay, if the bolt face is compressed, you're not going to be able to get the bolt in there. You have to pull the bolt face forward and get that pin centered, get the cam pin centered to the bolt carrier group so it rides in the channel, and then it slides right in place. Okay? And then the bolt carrier group should activate the door. And it does. Okay. Everything looks good here. A little bit of slop, not bad. It should be a little loose in there. Don't be alarmed if your bolt carrier group rattles around in there a little bit. That's completely normal. And then, like I say, if you watch how the forward assist works, right? See how the bolt carrier group is in the rearward position, right? As you push this, see how it pushes the bolt carrier group forward? This is how your forward assist works. Every push of that pushes the bolt carrier group forward a little bit more. So if your gun isn't going completely into battery, say it's stopping right there, you need 1 or 2 quick hits on it. Now, if that's happening on a consistent basis, you've got other issues. You've got something wrong. You don't have enough lubrication for the parts to mesh. Something might be wrong with your bolt face. Maybe you got a key broken. Maybe your gas key is hitting your gas tube. There's all kinds of things that could be going on if your gun is not going completely into battery. If it happens once and you got to hit the forward assist, it's one thing. But if it's happening on a consistent basis, you have a deeper issue that you need to look into. I hardly ever use my forward assist. The only time I really use it, and Russ could probably tell you this too, us that hunt with our ARs, if I'm going out in the woods and I want to be quiet and I'm loading my gun, I will allow the bolt carrier to ride. I won't let it slam shut because I don't want to make a lot of noise. Okay, so I'll let it ride forward, and maybe it won't completely go into battery because I'm not allowing it to slam shut, and that's when I'll need to hit the forward assist once or twice to lock it into battery. But that's about the only time I ever use my forward assist, is when I'm trying to be quiet and load the gun quietly, and I ride the bolt carrier group down into battery. Okay. So that's what we wanted to cover tonight. They're going to cut up these videos after they get posted to YouTube and show you, make a comprehensive video, installation video, and then we'll have a complete library on our website of how to build an AR. So that's why we decided to journey down this road for the next few weeks, and then we're going to end up taking this gun to Alabama and doing the range stuff with it. So next week we're going to install the barrel, the handguard, the muzzle device, and the sights. and then the upper receiver will be complete. And then the week after that, we'll start in on the lower receiver. We'll do the buttstock and the lower parts kit in the lower receiver. So building an AR is pretty simple. Once you know how to, once you've watched the videos a few times and you've done one or two of them, then they become really simple. I can build an AR in about 30, 45 minutes if I've got everything laid out. All my parts are here. All my tools are here. And I don't have to search for anything. I can do it in about 30, 45 minutes. So, yeah. So remember, when you're getting started, you want a purpose for your gun. You want to figure out what caliber that is based on that purpose. You want to set yourself a budget, what it is you want to spend on a gun. Typically, by building your own AR, you can get a little bit more gun than you would buying off the shelf. Your $700 AR off the shelf is going to have plastic clamshells. It's going to have an A2 front sight post. It's going to look old school, if you will. If you're wanting free float handguard and some of the other cooler features of a custom, semi-customized gun, you can do that same gun, that same $600-700. You can get a little bit more of what you want, where you're going to buy that $600 or $700 gun off the shelf, and then in a couple months you're going to want to put $200 or $300 more into it, upgrading it to these things that come with a lot of these kits when you buy them like this, right? This comes with a free float handguard. It comes with magazines. It comes with a sight. It comes with a set of sights. It comes with all the stuff that you would want to upgrade. That your different upgrades are already included in this kit for the same price as what you'd buy that off the shelf gun for. The other thing about building your own AR is that once you've built this and you understand it completely how everything works, you become very intimate with the gun. You know how everything works. You know how the gas system works. You know how the thing cycles, and you understand what causes what causes malfunctions, what causes problems, and it makes it easier for you to troubleshoot it and fix it. So you don't have to take your gun to a gunsmith and or send it back to me and have me troubleshoot it. So, there's a lot of advantages to building your own AR. One is maybe not necessarily saving money. Yeah, this is our a kit, one of our rifle kits, Russ. You may not save money, but you're going, for the same money you would spend on an off-the-shelf gun, you're going to get a better gun. You're going to get more intimate knowledge of that gun. You're going to understand it better. You're going to be able to troubleshoot it and fix it. And there's just something so satisfying about building an AR and taking it out to the range and it goes bang. And then, if it's a hunting gun, that first harvest with a gun that you built is just incredibly satisfying. My 350 Legend that I deer hunt with, I've killed, 4 or 5 pigs with it down in Texas and 3 or 4 deer now. And I got a nice little 8-point buck with it this year. So it's really satisfying to build your own rifle and then to be able to use it like that. It's a very satisfying experience. So join me next week when we're going to finish building out this upper, get the upper completely done, and then we'll move on from there. Appreciate you guys joining me, as always. A little bit of a short show today. We wanted to break this up and not try to overload it and make it a big, long 1-hour show. So we're going to do this over the next few weeks. That's why the shows will probably be just a little bit shorter than they typically are. But that's okay, right? We're going to have some fun. I'm excited to go to Alabama. We're going down there for the POMA. It's the POMA shooting sports showcase at the Talladega, Alabama Civilian Marksmanship Park. Beautiful place. If you ever get a chance to go to Talladega and shoot at the Civilian Marksmanship Park, I can't say enough about it. The place is fantastic. It's like 500 acres. They have everything from pistol bays to 600-yard range. And, I mean, they got 100 lanes. There's 100 yards, 50 yards, and there's 100 lanes to shoot on. Golf carts can take you from one end of the range to the other because it's 500 acres. It's a big place. It just, if you ever get the chance, and we'll do some video of it from there in a few weeks, but incredible place if you ever get the chance. So appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week when we finish out this upper. Remember, you don't have to be an expert to build your own AR, to upgrade it, or maintain it. We're here to help you do that. Thanks. We'll see you guys next week.